3, 4, 5, 6. This is an audio test for the Trump Hotel DC press conference. 1, 2. Please don't walk on this side of the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumbs up from everybody if you're happy. Happy campers. Lots of thumbs. Yay. Thank you, guys.
You want to see it on Real 255? Okay. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to see on Real 255. You doing okay? Checking it. Thank you.
Töne, sondern lasst uns angenehmere anstimmen und
For glass. Down the front.
Hello, everybody. Great to see you. We thought we'd do this. We're getting so many questions on the building itself, how it's coming, and there's a great speaker system. Boy, it's unbelievable. And I just want to thank everybody for coming. We have had so many inquiries as to how we're doing at the old post office, what was formerly the old post office. And upstairs is almost complete. The rooms are almost complete. We have close to 300 rooms, super luxury, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to employ substantially more than, I would say, 500 people. Yeah, at least 500 people. And we're getting them largely from the area, and they're terrific, already in training. Our chefs have been employed. Our service staff has been fully employed. So we have a tremendous group of people. The hotel is going to be incredible. Much of what you're sitting on was open space that was going down into a basement area that's a brand new floor. In about a week, it gets covered with marble, beautiful marble from different parts of the world. Much of what you're seeing here gets the final touches on it. This was considered one of the great buildings of Washington, one of the great buildings in the country, and it's been restored to the highest level, well beyond from when it was built, and it's going to be something really special. I think when it's completed, it will be truly one of the great hotels of the world, and that's what we're looking forward to. As you know, GSA, this was a GSA, and that was one of the most heavily bid projects ever in the history of GSA. Tremendous numbers of people wanted it. They brought it down to 10 finalists, and we got it, I think, because of the strength of our financial statement and because of the fact that they wanted to make sure it got built, and because of the fact that we had something that's very special in terms of the concept. Where you are now is going to be part of the hotel lobby. You'll see that in about 3 months. And behind me are restaurants and stores and shops, and everything above the second floor is rooms, suites, luxury suites. And what we have really that's very exciting is we're building one of the biggest ballrooms in Washington, and by far the most luxurious ballroom. It's actually the largest luxury ballroom in Washington and even in the Washington area. So it's going to be a very, very special job. We're very proud of it. We're 2 years ahead of schedule. We're going to be opening in September. So that's much in advance of what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be September 2 years from now. We're right on budget. We've really increased the scope of the work quite a bit. We're still on budget. We've gone to a very much higher degree of finishes and marbles and fixtures and bathroom fixtures, windows, etc. So we are we want to make this one of the great hotels of the world. I think it's coming out that way, and I think when it's completed, you'll be very proud of it. It's a great thing for the country. It's a great thing for Washington. As you know, the building was sitting fallow for many, many decades, actually, but it was for many years. It was a magnificent building. There were tremendous fights as to whether or not it would stay up, and groups got together, and they just would not allow the government to take it down. And it sat, and then they went out to bid, and something happened where it didn't work out, and it's been many, many years. So we started it about a year and a half ago, and we'll have it finished way ahead of schedule. We're very proud of it. I think, again, you will be very proud of it. As people that love this country, I think you're going to be very proud of it. These are just some of the staff that we have, some of the construction workers. We'll have probably really close to 1,000 construction workers on the site, including off-site work. For instance, the windows, which are landmarked, much of the building is landmarked. This area is all landmarked. The walls going up are landmarked. The struts over your head right now are it's all a very strong landmark situation. We worked with the various landmarking groups who were terrific, really, really professional people, and they love this building, I can tell you. The exterior of the building is all granite, and in some cases it's 4 and 5 feet thick. And they don't build them like that anymore, that I can tell you. They don't build them like that anymore. So with that all being said, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Yes. Meeting at Joe today. Oh, that has nothing to do with this, but that's okay. We met with Senator Sessions and some of the great people in Washington, and you pretty much know who was there, I would imagine. And we had a great meeting. We had a really good meeting. Yeah, well, I don't have a list now, but various senators, various senators and congressmen. We can provide a list for you if you'd like, okay? No, not at all. No, not at all. We're very inclusive. And frankly, Jeff and some of the other people just invited a small group. And, we're doing very well. It looks like we're doing very well in Arizona, and very well pretty much every place else. And I think we're going to maybe easily make that number of the 1237. We should make it pretty easily based on what I'm seeing. So we won't have to worry about fighting at a convention. Yes. Well, I think I'm very different than Hillary Clinton, to put it mildly. I think we have a very different style. I don't think she'll be one that's going to do much with our trade agreements, which are killing our country. People have no idea how important that is. The money that is being drained out of our country is enormous, and that's not her thing. It's totally my thing. I think she'll be very, very weak on the military. I think she'll be very weak with frankly, with other countries and the amount of money we subsidize them with our military, which nobody even talks about. So, we have to make our country solvent, and we have to make our country, frankly, rich if we're going to save all these things, and we have to rebuild our military. It's in very bad shape. It's been decimated, just decimated over a period of years, and we've got to get the right equipment, not the wrong equipment. We've got to get equipment that isn't there because of political experience and political know-how. We want to get the equipment they really want, not the equipment that they're getting because politicians have access to certain companies. And we're going to rebuild our military, and I think that's going to be a big difference also. Well, she doesn't know anything about my policy. I mean, she wouldn't know anything about it. Her policies obviously didn't work. All you have to do is look at Libya, look at anything you want to look at, and they haven't worked. And I think if you look back at my projections and my prognostications, they turned out to be very, very accurate. Sarah? Well, I'm going to make a speech in about 2 hours, so. Well, no, I also said, no, Yeah, I said what I said. If you remember, I said that I want to look into it. I want to speak to governmental people in Israel and here. I want to speak to various senators and various people, including Senator Jeff Sessions, Jeff is highly respected. And actually, Ted Cruz, I think, respected him more than any senator, and he thought he was going to get endorsed by Jeff Sessions, and he didn't. Jeff Sessions endorsed me, which was a very big endorsement. And Ted Cruz still doesn't believe what happened. He couldn't believe it because they worked together. And, you know, it doesn't say much about somebody when you have almost no Senate endorsements. You have Lee, but you have almost no Senate endorsements, and you work with the people all the time. So we worked very, very closely with many people, but Jeff Sessions. We worked closely with top people from Israel, and I'm going to be making a speech about it in a little while. Say it again. Not so much evolved. I said I want to make, you know, before I was asked certain questions, I said I want to make a decision. I'll announce it in the not too distant future, and that's what I'm going to do today at about 5 o'clock. Okay? Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you. Are you talking about here? We're doing some of that actually already. We have it very much involved. Why? What are you looking for? What kind of a position? Come up here. Come here. So smart. Good. Do you mind if I do a job interview right now? We need good people. How are you? So what's your experience in front of the world?
Well, I design, I do wreaths, I do all types of decorations.
And you like this building?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
So here's what I'm going to do. There's the man. Stand right over here.
Oh my God.
If we can make a good deal in the salary, she's going to probably have a job, okay? All right, good. Have a good time. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Good. Thank you. So nice. Really nice. Yes, go ahead. Just to start getting together with some of the people that I've known over the years, politicians, in just about all cases. They were senators or congressmen. Jim DeMint was there, who I have great respect for, and some others. And we just had a really good meeting, and just a meeting, and they can't believe how far we've come, because, you know, I think a lot of people maybe wouldn't have predicted that. I think people that know me did predict that, but some people would not have. And it was really just a meeting. It's a beginning meeting, but it was a very good one with a lot of the most respected people in Washington. Who's that, the Indian? You mean the Indian? Look, it's very simple. I have more votes than anybody. And if you take away the fact that I had 17 people, we had 17 people that I was going against, and add some of that back. You know, Hillary essentially had one. We started off with 17. I had more votes than anybody. More votes have come in the primaries to me than anybody else. And, you know, the problem with the country right now, it's so divided, and people like Elizabeth Warren really have to get their act together, because it's going to stay divided. And that includes Hillary, and probably includes me, includes everybody. This country has to get together, because we're in serious trouble. We're sitting on a big fat financial bubble. We owe $19 trillion, and it's going up rapidly to $21 trillion because of the budget. And we have a military that needs money. We have everything that needs money. And we have health care that doesn't work. Obamacare is not working. Nothing works. Our educational system, we're ranked last in many cases. So everybody has to get together and get it solved. If they don't get together, we're not going to have much of a country. So. That was Pastor Burns? Yeah, I didn't hear this. When did he say this? I didn't hear anything about it. No, so. Well, let me find out about it. I don't know anything about his religious beliefs, honestly, but I will find out, okay? I know the pastor, and he's, you know, a very respected person. Yes. Hi, Tom. I felt good about her. I tell you what, I looked at her. I said, I have gut instinct, okay? And we're allowed to have that. And I looked at her, and she asked a question, and it was a very positive question. She looks like she's got a great look, and look at that with the tears. How nice. She just seemed like a good person to me. Just seemed like a good person to me. Now, maybe she won't qualify because you have to qualify but I think she will. I think she, to me, looked like a good person. I have instincts about people. For instance, I had an instinct about you originally, that you're a very fine reporter, and I was right, okay? No, she made an immediate impression. And while I agree it's a big audience, she's going to become a superstar. Tomorrow she'll move out to Hollywood. Look at her. Don't leave me. Okay, go ahead, yes. Well, I've done a lot of winning. I mean, give me a break. On Super Tuesday, I won 4 out of 5 and did really well in Ohio. And if I would have had 2 more days in Ohio, I would have won it. All we're doing is our thing. We have a lot of people calling. We have so many people calling. And in terms of delegates, a lot of the delegates that you're hearing about want to come with us. They want to come with us. I think we're going to get a lot of delegates. And people see, some people are saying we're going to be at 1450, quite a bit higher. We'll see. I mean, look, hey, the worst that happens, I go back to this, which isn't so bad, not so bad. But I think we're doing very, very well. And I think we will qualify over that number. And then a decision is going to have to, if we're 30 short or 50 short, nobody else is going to be close. Ted Cruz won't even be close. And if we're a little bit short, people are going to have to decide. Are you going to go with somebody? And remember this, I think this is important. When I was putting my delegates together, I guess we started, there must have been 12 or 14 people in the race. It wasn't like I was running against 1 or 2 people, because that's easy to put together, the 1,237 delegates. But I had senators, I had a great doctor, I had Carly, and I had many, many other people running. So I was doing well. I was leading the pack in almost all cases, but you had other people getting 5% and 10% and 14%. We had a massive field. So to get 50% in a way is a little bit unfair when you have a group of people that started off at around 12. It was 17, but I think by the time we got to the elections, it was, the primaries, it was around 12 or 13 people. Then they started leaving. But, even now, we have the 3. Whereas Hillary had 1. Much different. So, and I think I would love the reporters, if you agree with me, I'd like you to make that point. We have a lot of delegates. I guess we're almost up to 700, which is substantially more than anybody else. But I got those delegates the hard way. I got them by running against many, many different people, all accomplished, all senators, governors, successful people. Now we're down to 3. And we'll see what happens. Okay? Because I'm an outsider, Katie. I'm an outsider. I understand. They're senators, they're governors, they're congressmen, women, and they are not used to this. And a lot of people don't like it because I haven't taken money. I don't take campaign contributions. And they want to give campaign. They want campaign contributions. And a lot of the people, the donors, some of whom are friends of mine. I've had donors come up to my office, offer me millions of dollars, and I said, I would love to take it, but I can't. I'm not taking it, right? I said, by the way, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to go with somebody else. I said, why? Because, he said, I have to. Because they want to spend their money. You know what? The truth is, they're gamblers. So when I say I don't want your money, and I'm their friends, but I don't want your money, they go to someplace else. They do that. They are gamblers in a certain sense. Yes, go ahead. Dr. Carson was a great guy. Yeah. They like Dr. Carson as a running mate? Well, I can tell you this. And, when he called me and he came over and we met, and it was, we've had a good relationship. Once I got to know him and he got to know me, He is a fine man, a fine person with a great family. So we'll be talking to Ben Carson about a lot of things. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you told me that. Right? I know that. Thank you. A piece of it, yeah. I announced a piece. I have actually many more, but I gave them page one. I know I used various people, but I used also my son-in-law, Jared. Where's Jared? Is he here someplace? Jared? You know, his wife is about 2 minutes away from having a baby. So he's here. He's coming to APAC. Where's Jared? Hey, Jared. And Jared spoke to many of his friends from Israel, and we put it together with a lot of really great people. Ivanka's probably today or tomorrow she's having a baby. So Jared's getting ready to get going. Okay? It doesn't mean that I'm going to use what they're saying, but I do like different opinions. He has a different opinion, but I do like different opinions. Okay, yes, go ahead. Yes. Yes, they'll always be involved. Absolutely. Chinese tourists will be involved. Investment I don't need. They don't have to give me their money. But the tourists are certainly, we want tourists from China. Yeah, go ahead. Well, we're going to see what happens. No, I don't think so. I think we'll do fine in Utah. It wasn't one of the states that we were projected to win, but you know, I had one speech there, and it was massive. We actually turned away over 5,000 people. You saw what happened, and I think we'll do well there. It wasn't a state. I was really going out to Arizona, but I have a lot of friends in Utah, so we stopped and we made a speech, and we had a great response to it. I think I'll do very nicely there. Yes, go ahead. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there'll be some that we won't. Meg? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. What? I don't think they'll leave NATO, no. I think they may leave the EU, yes. They're having a lot of problems. I don't want to make a comment about the UK leaving, but I think they may leave it based on everything. I'm there a lot. I have a lot of investments in the UK, and I will tell you that I think they may leave based on everything I'm hearing. I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I just think they may leave. Yeah, go ahead. To give immigrants voting status to vote against me, and the head of Mexico wants to do that. If I were the head of Mexico, I'd want to do that too. Okay? Because we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. Look, we have a tremendous trade deficit with Mexico, $58 billion. We have tremendous problems coming across the border. You know, Mexico could stop it in one day. We're going to build a wall anyway. But if Mexico wanted, they could stop that in one day. Do you know how tough it is to become a citizen of Mexico? One of the toughest places on earth. And yet over here, you have a baby on the land and you're a citizen. Congratulations, okay? Try that in Mexico. You know what they do? They laugh at you in your face. So no, I could understand why the officials in Mexico would want people to vote against me. But I tell you, the Mexican people like me. And if you look at the Nevada polls that just came out, and if you look at the exit polls in Nevada, a state that I won, one of many, you take a look at those polls. We do very, very well with the Hispanics. Yeah, go ahead, Beck.
Mr. Trump, Speaker Paul Ryan has been very quick to criticize you with statements. He's also worked behind the scenes to oppose your candidacy. at what point do you lose confidence that Speaker Ryan should be the chairman of the convention?
Well, it's a very fair question because I notice he's having meetings, but he called me last week. He couldn't have been nicer. He was very, just could not have been nicer. I have many millions of people behind me. We want to bring competence back to the country. We want to bring sanity back to this country. And we want to do a lot of great things. And to be honest with you, the Republicans should be embracing. Look, there is something happening with our country that's never happened to the extent it's happened now. Millions of additional people are going out and voting in primaries. And you know, in the Democrat case, they're down 35%. Nobody cares about Hillary and Bernie in terms of voting. They're down 35%. We're up 72%. And it looks like even much more than that. I mean, some states are up over 100%. And that's because of me. Now, they can play games and they can play cute. I can only take him at face value. I understand duplicity. I understand a lot of things. But he called me last week. He could not have been nicer. I spoke with Mitch McConnell. He could not have been nicer. If people want to be smart, they should embrace this movement. Time magazine calls it a movement. It's been on the cover. They want to be smart. If they don't want to be smart, they should do what they're doing now. And the Republicans are going to go down to a massive loss. And all of these people, these millions of people that are coming out to vote for me, because you look at South Carolina, I wasn't supposed to win South Carolina, and I won in a landslide. I wasn't supposed to win Nevada. I won in a landslide. I wasn't supposed to win many of the. I won the whole South. Look at Alabama. I mean, we're getting close to 50% with a lot of candidates. That was when you had even more. This is great. And let me tell you, if they don't win, you're going to have probably 4 and could even be 5 Supreme Court justices approved that will never allow this country to be the same. It'll take 100 years, but that won't work. So they better be careful. And I certainly should be careful with third-party stuff. If Trump gets it, we're going to start a third party. Well, a third party means that the Democrats are going to win, almost certainly. You can't be that spiteful. You can't be that spiteful because you'll destroy the country. Third party would destroy the country. I'm going to be I've already shown it to a lot of people. And, you know, a lot of people are like a little bit worried about which judges. we're going to have a conservative, very good group of judges. I'm going to submit a list of justices, potential justices of the United States Supreme Court that I will appoint from the list. I won't go beyond that list. And I'm going to let people know, because some people say, oh, maybe I'll appoint a liberal judge. I'm not appointing a liberal judge. But I'm going to have a list of 10. We're working on it already. Heritage is Foundation and others are working on it already. And with, you know, some thoughts of mine, I've already named a couple of them, and that I think would be probably between 7 and 10 judges that I think will meet the highest standards, and from that list we'll pick Supreme Court judges. And I'd make that pledge because I want people to understand that is the single biggest problem with it would be terrible losing the election because the country's going in the wrong direction. But if the new president is a Democrat and picks very liberal people, this country is in big, big trouble. Okay, Tom, go ahead. You'll have to see what happens. I think I'll get the votes, first of all. I mean, I think I'll get the votes. We'll see what happens. Maybe I won't. I have a team. It's a professional team. I'll give you some names later, but it's a top-of-the-line team. I think that we will win without that, and everybody says if he gets the votes, he gets the votes. I think we'll do well. I think we're going to have a big night in Arizona. And we'll see. That's a lot of votes. Just like I said, we're going to win Florida. A lot of people said, how do you beat the face of the Republican Party? Don't forget, I watched your show, and you did a show on Rubio. I have no problems with him, but you did a show 4 or 5 months ago on Rubio, and you said he is the future of the Republican Party. He's the face. So Trump went against the face by 20 points. You know? Of 67 counties, I won 66, which is unprecedented. It's never happened before. I think we're going to do well in Arizona. I hope to do well in Wisconsin, and I hope to do well in a lot of other places, but I think we should be able to put it away. Yeah. Let me just tell you, I rent a stadium or whatever. We had 21,000 people in near Phoenix. We had 6,000 people in Tucson over the weekend, and both in the same day, both with very short notice, 21,000 people. And they blocked the road. These are professional agitators. They blocked the road. They used foul language. They put up signs using the F-bomb and all sorts of words that were horrible. These are not good people. The people that are supporters are unbelievably good people. The incident that took place in Tucson with the gentleman who I understand was in the Air Force, I haven't found out too much about it yet, but I hear he had a very fine record in the Air Force. Given a certain finger on a hand, he was talked to horribly, and he was also looking at somebody, Ku Klux Klan. And he happened to be African American, the person who was a supporter. And it was a shame what happened. But you know what? He saw a member of the Ku Klux Klan, and you people don't write that. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting because at the beginning of the news cycle, early in the morning, they showed the Ku Klux Klan guy walking up. You didn't see that anymore. You just saw the man hitting. And I said, isn't that a shame? They took it out of the cycle, which you did you did it. It's terrible. This is an African-American man who is a supporter, who has a great family, and he has had enough. And I'll be honest with you, in this country have had where we're losing our jobs. They've had enough where we're losing all our trade. I mean, you look at these trade deals that we have. They've had enough where our military can't beat ISIS. They've had enough with the increases in Obamacare, where you have 35, 45, and 55% increases in Obamacare, and your deductible so high, not even health insurance. So people in this country are fed up. Okay, Mark, go ahead.
Three biggest threats.
You know, honestly, Mark, I don't see threats. I see people that are trying to go against you, but I guess you have that in life no matter what you do, whether you're in politics or not. I think they're very misguided. I think the people that go against me should embrace me, and I'd embrace them very easily. They should embrace me because I brought millions. I mean, you've reported on it. There's never been, they have said in your circles, there has never been an event like that, like what we're doing through in the history of politics. I've had people that you know very well say in the history of politics. We have millions and millions of people all over the world they're talking about it. And to be honest with you, Mark, they should embrace it, but they don't. So that would be a threat. If they don't embrace it, that's always a threat. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah. Well, I started today, and I've had, look, again, Jeff Sessions and others have endorsed me. We have some great congressmen. I watch them on television now a lot, and they've endorsed me, and we have a lot of people coming on. I will say this. I don't want to drive you folks crazy, but people that I'm watching that are against me aren't really against me because they're calling me. I've seen people on television, we have to stop Donald Trump, we have to stop, and they were on the phone with me an hour and a half before, and they want to set up a meeting. You have a lot of people out there that you think are against me, and it's just politicians. They want to make a deal. They want to come in and they want to be part of it. People really do want to be part of it. I don't think much. They have to embrace what's happening. We have people, many Democrats are coming over. That's why we're going to beat Hillary Clinton. So I'm going to beat. If I'm running it, I'm going to beat her. We have Democrats coming in. I mean, what did we have, Mark? 20% of the Democrats come in for the last primary. 20% were Democrat. But we have independents coming in vast numbers. And the most amazing thing, we have many, many, many people, you wouldn't think there were this many people, who have never voted before. They've never voted before, Sarah. You know that. And I see it when I'm doing the rope line, the signings, or the shaking of the hands. I mean, every 15th person says, Mr. Trump, I've never, ever voted. I mean, I'm talking about 30-year-old men, 40-year-old women, 50, 60, 70. My oldest is 93 years old from Tennessee. She's never voted before. This incredible woman. I actually interviewed her, a couple of you. And she's so excited. And she's going to be voting. 93 years old from Tennessee. So I just tell you that there's something that's amazing that's happening. The other thing is, we're going to get states that the other Republicans can never even think of, like Michigan. Michigan's not in the rota of you know, if you look at it, Ohio is a state we have to win, right? You have to win Florida. You have to win Virginia. You have to win Pennsylvania. They don't have to talk about Michigan because they say you can't even think about it. I think we have a good shot at New York. New York values, okay? Remember New York values? You think Ted Cruz is going to win New York? I don't think so. If you win New York, it's over because it's got so many delegates. So I think we have a chance at winning New York. And various other states, we're going to win that nobody else can win. That makes it a whole different contest. But think in terms of Michigan. I won Michigan really big. Don't forget, Kasich was out in Michigan. He stayed there. He slept there. He actually made the statement that if he doesn't win Michigan, he's going to leave the race. He was so sure of Michigan. And he lost Michigan in a landslide to me. So I'm going to win Michigan. And I'm going to win other states that no other Republican candidate can win. That, from the Electoral College standpoint, throws this thing, it makes it a much different deal. Okay, one or two more. Yeah. No, I don't denounce the country. I have great respect for those countries. I want them to pay us some money. I think Israel will do that also, yeah. I think Israel do. There are many countries that can pay, and they can pay bigly. I mean, we're supporting South Korea. I order thousands of television sets a year from South Korea. They're a behemoth economically. Every time North Korea raises its head, they do anything. They sneeze. We start sending the ships, the planes, everything else. We don't get proper reimbursement for that. Now, I like South Korea. I have property in South Korea. I like it. I have a lot of friends in South Korea. They can't believe they get away with it, to be honest. Germany can't believe it. You know who really can't believe it? Saudi Arabia. I mean, we have Saudi Arabia, the richest country, no matter how you've cut it. I mean, they were making, I tell this, until, recently, but now they're making half, which is still, they were making $1 billion a day. And we subsidize the military, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And they wouldn't be there except for us. This is how we're going to get our wealth back. This and other things, trade deals. Okay, one more question, one more. Who's got a good question? Who's got a good question? Who's my favorite reporter? Go ahead. Sure. I want a better relationship with everybody. A better with Russia, yeah. But I want a better relationship with everybody. Go ahead. No, I don't think so. I think the media understands. Look, if we can get along, Putin says very nice things about me. I think that's very nice. It has no effect on me other than I think it's very nice. If we get along with Russia, that's very good. If Russia wants to spend millions of dollars a day dropping bombs on ISIS, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Some people don't like it. They say, no, that's our job. It's not our job. It's let Russia, if they want to do that, I'm all for it. No, I want to get along with all countries. And we will. We'll get much better. You look at what China is doing in the South China Sea. That is so disrespectful to Obama and to our country. You just take a look. Look what they're doing in the South. They are building a massive military complex. And yet they're draining us for money. They're taking money out of our country. We're rebuilding. We are rebuilding China. So, no, I want to get along with all countries. And, the interesting thing, we'll do much better with all countries, and yet we'll get along with them better, too. Okay? Okay. Go ahead. Real fast. Go ahead. Many of the people that you see that they say they're not supporting Trump want to support me. Well, you're going to find out soon because a lot of them are going to join the team. Or as they say, the Trump train. But a lot of them are, I just don't want to do it now. But you'll be seeing over the next short period of time. I mean, many of the people that I watch on television that are supporting somebody else are really supporting me, or they want to support, and they will, as soon as we say yes. But you're going to see a lot of people. Okay? Fair question. What? Yeah, we're going to look at that. We're going to look, it's going to be pro-life. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at intellect, very important. Like, we want very, very smart people. We want conservatives on the Supreme Court. But we're going to be making up a list of from 7 to 10 people. I will be distributing that list in the very near future, okay? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, wait, let's take a tour. Nobody asked about the hotel. Does anybody want to see? First of all, this room is going to be a minute. Does anybody want to see? We're building now the largest luxury ballroom in Washington by far. We could take a look. And then if anybody wants to go up and look at the rooms and suites, they're giving some tours. They are magnificent. The building was gutted down to the basics. It was gutted down to the steel, except for this area, because this area is all a landmark. And we have magnificent suites, rooms, meeting rooms, and we're building a ballroom. So if you'll follow me, I'm going to give you a tour of the ballroom, okay? Come on, Mark. Come on.
Everybody's doing it.